Hey, and welcome to Working in Wellness. So, today we're going to do the last installment of leaky gut syndrome. And this is where we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of it, the nitty gritty. So, this is how are we going to fix it? If you think you have it, what do I do about it? So, we're going to go back to kind of what we talked about in the last video about the causes of leaky gut in order to fix it, because we can't just throw a bunch of stuff at it if you don't really know what caused it. So basically, our 5 causes that we have for leaky gut, we have dietary, antibiotics, stress, toxins or allergens, and different medications. So let's take a look at one of the bigger things, and that's just our day-to-day diet. Dietary wise, there's some great things that you can do to start to try to really reverse engineer this leaky gut. So there's a lot of things out there. You will see elimination diets, you'll see low FODMAP diet. I think it's not a one size fits all. Everybody's different. Some people will respond really well to, say, a paleo diet, taking out sugar, taking out your refined carbohydrates, things like bread and pasta, gluten is gone, things like that. You're basically taking out grains and sugars. And basically, instead, in their place, you're going to do whole foods, meat, vegetables, proteins. So people do really well on that. Some people find the healthier I eat, the worse I feel. And if you're that person that, the more green veggies and fruits that you consume, the worse your stomach gets, you would probably benefit from a low FODMAP diet. Because FODMAP, so basically these are, I don't even know if I can get it right, basically fermentable oligomonosaccharide something or other. It's a long word, but basically it's certain nutrients within like broccoli and avocado and sometimes tomatoes, or different types of very nutritious foods like veggies and fruits that actually are high in the substance that it ferments quickly, and it produces a lot of gas and bloating for people, especially if you have an overgrowth of bacteria that really latch on to these types of FODMAPs, and they just start eating away and forming a lot of byproduct, and that byproduct is the discomfort that you feel. Me personally, what I have used is basically an elimination diet. I kind of went like the Whole30 route. Whole foods only, cut out all inflammatory seed oils, all grains, all sugar, all dairy, cut out everything. And then, because I wanted to know what works for me, I didn't want to know what works for Joe Sally over here. I want to know where it works for me. So I cut all the things out, and then I added them back in, and I wanted to see what my system did when I added them back. And lo and behold, I find I'm kind of sensitive to dairy, and I never thought that before. I never thought I had a problem with it. But as I ate dairy, I realized oh, I do feel a little bloated when I have dairy. But I didn't know, but now I do. And so that information is good for me. Doesn't mean that I can never have dairy again. I still eat cheese and all that kind of stuff. But I know that I can limit it, or just pick and choose the ones that I really want, so that I'm not overloading my system with something that's inflammatory for it. And if you want to hear more about elimination diets or low FODMAP diets or paleo, drop me a comment in the comments below. Say, hey, give me something on this diet, and I'll send you something. For toxins and allergens, so that was a cause of leaky gut, toxins and allergens. So big toxin, sugar, let's get rid of that, all right? Allergens, so if you find that you are just breaking out in random rashes all the time, and you don't know why, and you just suddenly have allergies to everything all of a sudden, that is a sign of leaky gut, my friend. So for that, I say it's beneficial to do an elimination diet, clean out, heal the gut, find out what foods are the biggest problem areas. It doesn't mean that you're never going to eat it again. hear me there, okay? Just because you're cutting out grains or sugar now does not mean that you can never, ever, ever have this again. But usually if you give your gut a couple months to heal up, then after a time, you can start reintroducing those things and you might not have a problem with it anymore. But you have to give yourself time to heal first, because you can't run a car with a broken engine, right? So, also another toxin, alcohol and nicotine. So things like that, that are toxic. Also, take a look in your pantry. What kind of cleaning products are you using? Or do you get exposed to toxins in your daily work environment, chemicals, things like that? Kind of be thinking along that route. And then toxins that we ingest. So, there's a whole laundry list that we can kind of go down that rabbit hole, but that's another video. Probiotics. These are great things to take if you feel like you have a leaky gut issue, especially if you feel like, your gut started getting sensitive after, say, a round of antibiotics or a round of steroids. Then taking probiotics, especially during or after your antibiotics, that will help repopulate the good flora within your gut, and they'll kind of take over and basically they wiggle out all the bad stuff because they're taking up space, right? So I like to do a pulse therapy. So, after a round of antibiotics, I'll pulse for a good, several weeks or a month with probiotics. And then if I'm feeling good, I'll take them away. I don't stay on probiotics forever. I tend to use them when I need them, and then I let my body do its thing. And that's my prerogative. So stress. Stress is another big cause of leaky gut. So stress management is a great thing. And I think all of us could use some tips on stress management. And I'll probably make a video just on that in the future. But different things to try. If you can change your stressor, and I know a lot of us can't, because sometimes it's family, sometimes it's work. But if you have the ability to change the stressor, it would benefit you to do so. If you say yes to everything and you have piled too much onto your plate, sometimes saying no to stuff is the best thing that you can do, because then you can focus your attention fully on the things that you do enjoy and do them well. So also different tips you can try for stress management: journaling, meditation, prayer, things like that, deep breathing exercises. You can look that up on YouTube. There's a whole genre about that. Medications, that's another big one. So sometimes we have medications that we're taking and we can't do anything about it. They're blood pressure medicines or your heart and all that good stuff. But some medications are over the counter and we don't necessarily need to be taking them all the time. Some of those would be PPIs, so that would be your acid reducer medications. A lot of times we get those over the counter, and for some reason we just tend to stay on them for weeks, months, years. These are not helpful, my friend. These actually can promote and worsen your leaky gut because it deacidifies your stomach. Another thing would be NSAIDs, or anti-inflammatory medications. These are things like your pain relievers, different things like that. So non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. So like your ibuprofen, aspirin, naproxen, that stuff. So I realize, if you have joint pain, you have a headache, you need to take something. But if we're taking something every day, those anti-inflammatories are hard on the gut lining, and they can actually damage it over time and cause this leaky gut to come about. So finding different modalities for your pain control, or sometimes if you can heal the leaky gut, a lot of times the pain that we feel is actually stemming from the inflammation in our body that's caused by the leaky gut. So sometimes you might find that if you heal the gut, you don't need as much of the pain medication to start with. It kind of it's a loop, it goes round and round. But anyway, so I think I've covered the major things. So diet, antibiotics, medications, toxins, allergens, stress, all those things. There are different things to try. Now you may say, well, that's great, I can cut out all those things, but how do I actually heal the gut that's broken? And is that just gonna take some time? Yes, it is gonna take time, but there are certain herbs and substances and things that you can try to actually heal up that lining. And I'm gonna list a few, but I'm gonna have a little disclaimer here. I'm not promoting these things and I'm not telling you to take them because I'm not your doctor. But these are things that I've looked at and they have properties that tend to heal those mucosal linings. So if you do like what you hear, do your research, look it up yourself, and talk to your own doctor about it before you try it. But anyway, so let's get down to it. So there's different herbs like aloe vera, marshmallow root, licorice. I like the deglycerized, can't say that word, licorice. If you get plain licorice, sometimes it will cause you headaches, but if you get deglycerized licorice, then that side effect goes away. Slippery elm. Slippery elm is a mucilaginous substance. It looks like snot, but it's powder. You mix it up and it's kind of the consistency of a real loose gel, and you can drink it. You basically take it like a shot, or it can come in capsules, but it will coat your esophagus, it will coat your stomach, and it kind of basically fills in those gaps and holes in that mucous membrane, and it will help tighten up the junctions of the mucus cells in that membrane of your gut lining. So it's a good tool to use. These are some of the different herbs that I have found that have been quite helpful in healing up a leaky gut. And if you have any questions about that, pop it into the comments below and I will get back to you. Or you can email me at workinginwellness247@gmail.com. All right, I think that is it today. So we've covered leaky gut from start to finish. And guys, I'm really excited. I'm going to actually start up in the new year coming up. January, we're going to start launching a gut protocol makeover. So if you feel like you're having leaky gut and you've got a lot of issues and you are interested in it's time to make a change, let's get this thing tackled and done with, hit me up. I'm about to launch a program in January that is just for you. It is for healing up that gut, getting rid of the chronic bloating, the chronic fatigue, the headaches, the skin rashes, and all that good stuff by healing up the gut. And in general, if you just want to make some general healthy lifestyle choices and make a lifestyle change, then this program is also for you. So send me an email, put in comments, hey, send me information about your program, and I will get back to you on that. All right, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you later.